good morning. So today I have Meghan with us, who is very passionate about forming dynamic teams, developing hiring strategies, interviewing coaching, and inclusive hiring managing, which is something that's very important because I think a lot of companies place so much emphasis on finding the right candidates, but what they usually don't do is actually fix the hiring process itself, which is why they tend to usually lose some of the best candidates that they could have hired in the first place. Meghan is currently working on this to make sure that she creates a wonderful hiring experience for anyone that she hires. So let's welcome Meghan on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, where she will tell us about her experience, where she's currently working, and why she's so passionate about hiring in the first place. Hi, Meghan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, Meghan. So, Meghan, can you tell us about what got you into hiring in the first place?
Yeah, of course. So I was born and raised in Chicago. I have kind of a non-traditional, I would say, path to get to be where I am today. I actually got my start in hospitality,
Oh, wow.
which I can very confidently say prepares you for anything, whether that's working fast-paced, juggling a lot of priorities. But I initially started off as a psychology major in school, realized probably wasn't cut out for the world of labs and biology and flashcards, but graduated a year early from college. Like many people, didn't really know what I was going to do or what the world had in store for me. So I was working at a restaurant, and one of my very great regulars was a district manager at a staffing agency. And through, regularly serving her for a few months, she said, "You might be a great recruiter." And so that power of that networking and that relationship kind of led me into where I am today. And so I spent, some time there, and now I'm here at Cohesion in my current role. Seems honestly like a whirlwind, but very happy for the connections that I have.
Wow, it's funny how life usually has this, as in like you plan something else and then life has a different plan for you, and everything usually works out in the end because you're just like, okay, what is going on? What am I doing? And then you can see how the pieces of the puzzle actually fit together, and you're just like, okay, I can see why this happened. Who was this person that actually led me to this? So it absolutely sounds wonderful, and I'm glad in your case that this connection actually turned you towards something that you're very passionate about now. So that sounds wonderful. So, Meghan, you're working at Cohesion, like you mentioned. Can you tell us a little more about what the company does and what your role is within the company?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a Chicago-based startup, actually. We do have a female CEO, which I love pointing out, just having that diversity in
Women
leadership.
empowerment, yes.
Heck yes. But our company, we are actually a smart building platform. So we are automating building systems with IoT, so very new technology, so that if you worked in one of our buildings, you could actually use your phone to unlock a door, to call
Wow.
an elevator. So very like futuristic. But yeah, we're the first platform of our kind to actually do what we do. And so, yeah, we're growing very rapidly. It's a super exciting time to be in the company. So
Of course. And that sounds wonderful. I mean, imagine calling an elevator by your phone. That sounds wonderful and that
it
sounds
is,
very exciting. So,
yeah.
definitely, I can see that. So, can you elaborate a little more on your role? So, what exactly do you do within the company, Meghan?
Absolutely. So I'm a one woman department, actually. I head up talent acquisition here at Cohesion, and I'm responsible for basically partnering with our hiring managers, figuring out, where are their gaps in resources, figuring out what specifically are they looking for in a candidate. I'm going out, physically recruiting those people, ushering them through our interview process, and then, extending an offer, helping them get onboarded and have a great experience and start off on the right foot.
Of course. I mean, the way you say it sounds easy, but I'm pretty sure finding the right candidate, making sure they join the company would definitely be a lot of hard work. So thank you for being so humble, Meghan, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. So, Meghan, you mentioned that the company is rapidly growing. So what roles are open? What kind of people are you looking for to join your company? So because they're usually soft skills and technical skills that companies look for. So can you maybe elaborate a little both on what kind of people do you want to be a part of your company and what kind of skills, when it comes to hard skills, are you looking for to join your company specifically?
Yeah, great question. So the reason we're kind of growing is we are closing out on our Series A fundraise. Being a
Hmm.
startup, we're fundraising, and so with that is coming a lot of new hires. In terms of skill set specifically, we're growing across the company. So anywhere from in tech, software engineering, implementation. We're growing sales, operations, and product right away. And I've noticed type of people that do really well at cohesion are people that are excited to get up and do the work that they're doing. No one's, just clocking in and clocking out. It's a new challenge every single day to get up and get to work on something brand new that no one has ever done before. So I think people that are passionate, excited, our company, we're under 50 people. So definitely a smaller org, and you really get a chance to know your colleagues as a teammate but as a person. So yeah, very
Definitely.
collaborative environment.
I think especially usually within a smaller number of people working together, I think you can learn so much from
Right.
each other, like which is something that's very important. So I think any individual would be lucky to join this company because it absolutely sounds wonderful. And Megan, you specifically, as in like, how was it like with the pandemic and everything? Like, how did the pandemic affect the way you hire and the way people work within Cohesion specifically?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are, a Chicago-based company, but our team is global. So we have a team in India and a team in Argentina, and then our company itself, we're spread nationwide. And so COVID, it had obviously an impact, but on the way that we work and our workflows, we luckily, are comfy remote. And in terms of the business, we've seen a huge increase in clients. So it's been really exciting, a lot of work to do, but I think, having that infrastructure to be remote and to be collaborative has been really successful.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. And Megan, as in like, I'd love to hear because you've been in hiring for quite a while. What is something according to you that job seekers make? Like, what is the biggest mistake that job seekers make when specifically they're applying for jobs?
Oh,
According to you, of course.
that's a great question. I think what I would say, make a mistake is skipping over a job and not applying for something because they don't think that they are, up to the requirements. They don't think that they're qualified for the role. I've seen so many times speaking with candidates, like they psych themselves out of a position that, they could bring so much value for. So I think like being confident in yourself, go for it. If maybe it's not one particular role you're a fit for, there could be another role. So I would say just having that confidence and not like, counting yourself out of what could be an amazing opportunity.
But where do you draw the fine line between being overconfident and being like, oh, I'll apply for this, I'm pretty sure I have it, and then being underconfident and being like, okay, I don't have the skills? Like, where exactly do you draw the line, Megan?
Fair, fair. I mean, I think, you want to be humble about your skills, and maybe, if it's a pivot in an entirely new field, maybe starting out with just getting your foot in the door in a company or working with a team that, might work with the role that you want to do. I've learned in my career, like sometimes it's important to pivot, whether that's, into a new field, or for me, I changed majors, or just making that jump and trying something new. Always good to be humble, but sometimes, maybe apply for a role that would work with the team that you would love to work with, I think is always good. But in our kind of hiring practices, we speak to the candidate about themselves as a whole and less about trying to pigeonhole them into a specific position. I think that is so helpful because it helps us explore and find that like right fit within the company. So be
That
confident.
makes sense. I love the humanistic approach that I usually take because I think a lot of people just like the process are so automated
Yes.
that you're just like, okay, the data drove the person away and everything. So I love how you actually understand the person at a deeper level to make sure that they're actually a perfect fit for the organization. So thank you so much for sharing that. Well, Megan, our time is up. It was an absolute pleasure learning about you, about your transition from hospitality to actually getting into recruitment and working for a wonderful company like Cohesion, and sharing your advice for job seekers out there. If there are people out there that would love to work with Cohesion and they reach out to me, I will definitely forward them to you.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.